Go.
Oh, I don't want to touch my screen.
Hey guys.
Welcome back to Forward Farming.
How the heck are you, Becca?
Good. It's been a roller coaster week, but today now I can say it's good.
Good. It's a Sunday afternoon. Becca has a lovely new backdrop on.
You do. You guys should be watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. She promised to deliver different backgrounds every week, even though we just figured it out.
I know?
So yeah, I'm making that promise for you.
Okay.
One of us will have a different background. Yeah.
Okay. I keep having to move my thing because the iPad, you have to have it up, but I'm in my bedroom, so I'm sitting on my bed, so I've got it propped. I don't know, on top of a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
so if you lose my face for a little bit, that's why.
We're professionals. We have a very professional setup going, so it's great.
Yeah. I don't even have a microphone hooked up or anything. I should really get to that, but I still haven't bought the little adapter that I need.
Yeah, iPads are tricky. They get you all those little changes that nothing else works except just for the iPad now. You need a special charger,
they're not dumb. They know how to make money,
and
they know you're gonna buy
it. Yep. And we fell for a hook, line, and sinker. But you know what? We're getting better video quality and hopefully better audio. I think our audio has been sounding a lot better since we switched to the iPads.
I was worried the first few episodes that we did just because I didn't have a microphone. But the ones I've listened to have been fine. So hopefully it's up to everyone else's standards. If not, well, that sucks.
You know what they say.
What more do you want from us?
Bless us mess. That's all we can ask for.
Yep.
So today we're just kind of winging it. Today we don't have a guest or anything. We're going to be kind of talking about our postpartum experiences. I think we both have pretty different experiences. So I know yours is a lot different than mine. So it'll be kind of, I don't want to say fun because I don't think it's going to be a super fun conversation, but it'll be an interesting one.
It'll be one of those ones that if you're going through it, or you're going to go through it, or you have been through it, I think you'll be able to relate and hopefully know that you're not alone. Granted, we're only 2 experiences, but
yeah, I feel I feel like we've got 2 pretty common experiences. I don't know, maybe yours is a little bit more extreme, but we'll get into that. So
how was your week? What'd you do?
My week, it was pretty mellow, honestly. Did I do anything?
I don't know.
I don't think I really did anything.
You sent me flowers for drying up, and that was amazing. Joey read the card. He must not have read your name. I don't know, but he's like, "Who sent you flowers for drying up?" I was like, "Amber did, duh." You don't send people flowers for that.
I'm so happy for you. I'm like, oh, she needs a little pep in her step
gorgeous
after this.
Too.
Are they?
They kind of opened up a little bit more now. They're really pretty.
Good. Dan uses this flower delivery place. They come from the volcanic ashes of Ecuador or some fancy thing.
I noticed it wasn't from America.
Yeah. It's called the Books, bouquet, I think is a website. I usually get flowers through the Farm Girl Flowers or something.
Oh yeah.
But they're kind of expensive, and I got an email that these were on sale, and I was like, yeah, I
was gonna order them there once. I was like, maybe not.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't remember what I got you, but they're kind of colorful and springy.
They're different colored roses.
Oh, perfect.
I'm pretty sure they're roses. If they're not roses, they look like roses. They're but they're almost bigger than a rose. I'll send you a picture later.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't even know what I got you, so glad you like them. This week I just kind of chilled with Porter. It was just kind of a shitty week. The weather
was gross.
It was just crummy, cold, and I think we only got out of the house Friday. Was kind of decent. I put him in his little cozy coop thing and we walked around for a little bit, but it was just miserable. So we stayed inside and just
Did you
chilled.
get snow yesterday?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It snowed just a little bit overnight, and then we had mostly kind of sleet, but it was like 35, 36 all morning.
I
So
apologize
nothing,
for whatever noises you're hearing in the back. I don't know if they're wrestling or what they're doing out there.
it's fine. It's
Or
dinosaurs.
they're
But all
loud.
of it's all gone right now. So we didn't have anything
Oh,
that
that's
lasted. You
we had
guys
like
got a lot.
we had like 4 inches at one point, but then like as it was snowing, it snowed all morning. Then as it was snowing, like the temperature got high enough that it turned into like slush on the ground. So there was like our driveway had just like an inch of wet slush.
Ugh.
It was gross, but it dried up a little bit and it's like all the snow is gone already. So I don't know how much they would say that we actually got, but it was like just a really wet, heavy snow and the flakes were huge. It was
I'm
pretty.
really
Like if it was
hoping,
December, I would have
yeah,
been pleased.
that would have been good for snow, but I hope this is our last like winter.
I hope so too. I can't do it anymore.
I have the
I take my
windows
bibs
open
back
and
out.
I have the house opened up a little bit today and
Oh really?
I need the fresh air because we'll talk about it later, but
Today we
I'm
had sunshine most of the day
mhm.
until like maybe an hour ago, and that was much needed.
Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to rain
I think it is here.
tonight, the rest of the week. It's gonna
It'll be
eh.
warmer this week though. We got that going for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, we've got that. But I always feel like when we talk about the weather, it's just always like that awkward icebreaker. So how's
Well,
the
it's.
weather?
I mean, it's. What else do you talk about when you're a farmer? I don't know.
True.
The
That's
weather.
always
You got to bitch
it's just
about
like
it
a
a little bit.
go-to. Whenever you just run into someone new. So how's the weather in your area?
Yeah.
About the same as yours. Okay. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Good duck.
Oh, anyway.
You're
Another
fine.
okay.
It's fine.
Okay. How are you
Maybe
doing?
maybe next week I'll have dinosaurs in my background.
You
I'll have to get a I'll have to get a picture.
You
Um
should.
we're doing good. Okay, so if you follow me on Instagram, you know everything that happened, I guess. But a week ago today, I conned Joey into getting a puppy. I shouldn't say I conned him, but he finally agreed to. He's always been like, we don't need a dog. Like, when do we have time for a dog? Yada yada.
I
Well, I
feel
saw
like
this.
that's just like the guys
Oh, it totally
thing.
is. Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't need this. And they get it. They're like, oh yeah, we do. We actually
Yeah.
do really need this.
Cuddled her multiple times. So yeah. And I had seen an Australian Shepherd. I've always wanted an Australian Shepherd, and they had one on Facebook Market. Well, not Marketplace, but on Facebook. And it was like the second time I'd seen it, and so I like showed it to him again. I'm like, she still needs a home. Like we need her. And he started asking more questions, and then finally, wait, I feel like I told this because I had it last week, didn't I? When did we
Yep.
talk?
I think we talked Sunday night or Monday.
There you got it. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell that part of the story. Okay, so we'll flash forward to Wednesday. This is where it gets sad. I had Addie out. She came to work with me, and she was always like by my side. And it was the first morning that we were like that I didn't keep her right in the calf barn. I brought her outside with us. And it was poor judgment on my part. I trusted her too much. I didn't have her on a long leash, and she was just like laying under the four-wheeler, just chilling. She was she had a weird personality. Like she was scared of everything. She wasn't really warming up to us much, but she was always by my side. But like, I don't know, it was just weird. So I was handing out calf bottles, and like she was just laying in a four-wheeler, and then all of a sudden I looked and she wasn't there. So we started looking for her. Like we looked around the farm because we assumed like a puppy wouldn't go far, and she hid all the time. So we assumed she was hiding in the calf hut, or I don't know, there's tons of places to hide at the farm. So we looked for her for, I don't know, like 45 minutes between all the egg bags, between all the hay bales, like literally everywhere. And then I'd called one of the girls that works across the street to see if she saw her over there, because I had like walked over there, but I didn't see anything. So when she got to work that morning, it was like an hour later, maybe after she had gone missing. And she's like, well, I'll just drive around, see if I can like see her. And she called me like 5 minutes later. She had found her on the side of the highway. So that sucked. Like my heart dropped when she called and asked if she had a blue collar on, because I knew. I knew. So I got in the truck immediately and went over. And the highway is like, it was probably almost a half mile from where she was.
Oh, wow.
And like I had been checking on her so much that she had to have booked it. I don't know why. I don't know if a calf spooked her. I mean, we'll never know. So yeah, that was a really hard day. I beat myself up a lot. Like having to pick her up off the road. That was top 10 worst moments of my life. So yeah, Wednesday I just cried all day. I came home from work. Thank God for my calf feeders. They called another person in and they fed calves so I could leave. I came home and literally laid in bed all day and cried. But that's what I needed to do. And so then telling the kids was obviously really hard, but at the same time they understood in a way, because we've never really sugarcoated farm life. Things die. Like if the cats get hit on the road or a chicken or something, it's like they were playing on the road, can't play on the road because you'll get run over. Like that's what, it's terrible, but that's literally what we tell them because we want them to know how dangerous it is. So that's kind of how I explained it to them. So then Wednesday night it was really weird because the girl that I got her from had messaged me because a friend of mine was interested in a puppy, and she was letting me know that the one puppy was taken, but Addie still had one sister left, and she's like a black and white female, and she's like, you might not be ready for it, but like I just wanted to offer it to you, if you are. So Joey and I thought about it like all night. I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't deserve another puppy. Like, she shouldn't be offering me a dog. I literally just got one killed. Like, that was going through my head. And then the next morning, Joey and I were talking about it again. I told him, I'm like, literally the only reason I want to say no is because I don't feel like I deserve that second chance. And he's like, well, that's obviously not true. And then he's like, well, what did the kids say? Because they were kind of asking about it when we were trying to talk about it that night. I'm like, I don't know, just like see what Sophia says when she wakes up and stuff. So then when Sophia woke up, one of the first things she asked Joey was when we could get Addie's sister. I was like, well, that makes our decision. Like, yeah, we'll get her. So I let the lady know. And then I went and picked her up on Friday. And when they say like God has a reason for everything, Gracie is that example. Like her personality is way different than Addie. She's been super comfortable around us from the start. She does really well on the leash. Like Addie would try to choke herself and like get out of the leash. And I mean, Gracie's she's done so well. So it was like literally the worst week ever turned into the best week ever. But yeah, so far so good. She's laying by my feet right now. She's kind of obsessed with me.
Good.
But yeah, she's a godsend. And I think it was meant to work out this way as much as it sucked going through Wednesday.
Yeah.
It led us to Gracie. So
yeah, good. I'm glad it all worked out. And obviously that's a huge lesson learned. And I'm excited.
I got like I've got 2 tie-outs for our house now. I've got one to bring to work. I've got like 80 million leashes. I've got a harness. I've got it all.
Yeah, the harness. I think the harness is going to be your best friend.
Yeah, and I had the harness with Addie, but she did not want to be constrained at all. Like, which is, it's frustrating. Like, because now I wish I would have had it on her, but I mean, yeah, there's not anything I can do about it now. So all we can do is be more careful this time around. But yeah, Gracie's done really good on the leash. Like she doesn't pull at all, and she just kind of walks where I walk and stuff. So
she was from the same litter?
Yeah. And she, I've never seen such a black Australian Shepherd. I'm not going to lie. She's like all black. She's got a little bit of white on her chest and a little bit of white on her back feet.
And she
She's
does
adorable.
well with the kids and with Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson. You know how babies like pet things? They just like
Slap and pull. Yeah.
Yeah. He's done that a couple times to her, and she just kind of looks at him like, really, dude? And like this morning he did it and like just grabbed onto a chunk of her skin, and I'm like, no. And she didn't even flinch.
Oh,
So
good.
we got to get that under control, but at least she's not like mean about it.
I was playing on the floor with Bear and Porter, and Bear rolled over on his back to get his belly rubbed, and Porter was on the ground, and he just like reached over to grab his stomach, but he grabbed his weenie and just like
See,
I was like, oh yeah, but Bear just like kind of grunted and trotted off. Like it was no big deal for him.
he's
It was
like, I
just
know I'm gonna get my ass kicked if I hurt you. So
yeah, it's fun watching dogs with babies. So it'll be fun to watch them grow up together. I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, me too.
Cute. Okay.
Now we got a crying child.
Oh, well, Joey's home, right?
Yep.
Good one. Hope nobody's
I don't even
dying.
know how to mute them.
So today, speaking of crying, we're gonna talk about our postpartum experiences a little bit, check in on each other, see how we're doing, how things are going. Are you 9 months in? 8.5? 8?
8.5. We'll be 9 months on the 12th.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna be 8 months on the 20th. So yeah, okay. It does. Porter still has his crib in our bedroom, so he's sleeping by us. It's fine.
But Sophia was a year, I think, before I put her in her own room.
Okay, Dan, if you're listening to this, like it's normal. Dan's trying to. He's like, no, he's 6 months old. He can move out. I'm like, no, he can't.
Well, is he sleeping better?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He doesn't fall asleep until like 10 at the earliest. But he usually sleeps through the night pretty well. He's been waking up maybe like around 1 o'clock, but he goes back down if he eats. Okay. So he's not bad. Then he'll get up.
I was gonna say with
7 o'clock.
With Sophia, I almost wish we moved her earlier because once I moved her, she slept like way better. So sorry to you, Dan. Use that information as you will, but yeah. No. And then I think Joe was probably around 6 months, and Jackson was, I don't know, 5 or 6 months.
Yeah, we're
I feel like once they're not waking up a million times to nurse and stuff, it gets better.
Yeah. Dan's gonna be doing frost watch soon, so like with his alarm going off, I don't want that waking him up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So my mom's like, you should probably do that pretty soon. You should get him adjusted. I'm like, no, Dan can just go sleep in the nursery. Like,
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, so
like it's nice just being able to like look over and look at them. Although if you get a good monitor, I have like a VTech one, and if I have the sound up enough, I can like literally hear him breathing, so it's fine.
Oh, that makes a difference. Like our Wi-Fi is bad enough, so I couldn't get like a good Wi-Fi one. So I don't even know. I don't even know what we have, but I didn't want it to get hacked either. Like, those creepy things. I don't know. So anyway, let's get back on track here.
What?
I'm gonna start crying just thinking about moving his crib. So why don't you talk about how things are going?
I can say things are going a million times better since I stopped nursing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel bad about saying that anymore. I've been dry, I don't know, 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks. Maybe almost a month. I don't even remember when I stopped. I had so much guilt stopping, but I feel so much better being done, and I wish I would have done it sooner. Fed is best. I know that breast milk has got a lot of good stuff in it, but at the same time, I think you have to weigh your mental health.
Mhm.
And we briefly talked about this, I don't know, at a different episode, but that deemer that I experienced, um, if you are breastfeeding or pumping and you get like waves of anxiety, or you just feel like down in the dumps when you start doing it, look up deemer, look up what it is. I had no idea what it was until someone just randomly suggested that I might have it. And it explains a lot about how I was feeling, and I think why it was so hard to nurse and pump this time around. Plus, Jackson was in daycare at 6 weeks, where the other two I brought to work with me for a while, so I didn't have to pump very much with them. My body just naturally does not respond well to pumping. So like with all the clogged ducts and the deemer and the mastitis, I can't do it anymore, and I have zero regrets. I feel a lot better. I will say when I started taking Lexapro, that helped, like to an extent. It helped make it more bearable to keep doing it, but now with that and the nursing gone, it's like, but yeah, this postpartum journey was definitely the hardest for me. I honestly thought it would be the easiest because it's like third time, you know what you're doing. Like Sophia was old enough to help, and I don't know what it was. I always felt blah. I didn't feel like myself, and weeks went by, months went by, and I was like, well, I'll get better. Like eventually, it's just the baby blues. And then at Jackson's 6-month appointment, right before I went in, I had been talking to a friend who was kind of going through the same things as me. Like she was always tired. She didn't feel like doing anything. She just, not that she was like depressed or not that she was sad all the time, but I should be just saying me, like, yeah, I didn't feel like doing anything. I'd get home from work and I would sit on the couch and watch the kids play. Like I didn't want to make dinner. I didn't want to clean the house. I literally wanted to do nothing. Even on the weekends when like normally we do fun things and stuff, I wanted to do nothing. So she's like, you really need to talk to the doctor. And so then at his 6-month appointment, I didn't bring it up at all because I'm a chicken shit and like I just couldn't. And then right at the end, she's like, well, do you have any other concerns? And I like literally was just like, uh, uh, yes. And I like, it was the hardest thing to say is like that I think what I'm feeling is not normal. And immediately she was like, thank you for telling me that. Let's sit down, let's talk. So she was amazing. She had me fill out like a couple forms just about feelings and things I was going through and stuff. And then she had me come back in for an appointment without Jackson, just like by myself. She talked to me. Gosh, I was probably there almost an hour. She explained like everything that's kind of going in your brain. And like basically my brain was not making enough serotonin for my body. So that's why I was feeling like I was. So there's like a ton of different medications and stuff. And we started on Lexapro, just like a low dose of Lexapro. And I'd say after like 2 or 3 weeks, I really noticed a big difference. And then now that I am done nursing, I kind of notice it even more. Like, I don't know, things are just a lot better. And I think there was just a lot piling on when I started it because it was like fall, it was getting cold, the weather's kind of crappy. The clogged ducts, like those they suck. And then I got them all the time. And like every time I would get them, I would want to be done nursing. And then every time I pumped, I felt like I was going to throw up. So I think everything just piled on, but it was the hardest thing to tell her I needed help. But at the same time, it was, the best thing that I could have done for myself. So I guess anyone that's listening, if you feel like you're not feeling normal, like if you're past the point of like, I don't think I should be feeling like this, just talk to your doctor. It's scary and I don't know why it's scary, but it is. And I don't know, it was the best thing I've ever done for myself. So
yeah, it just takes like 2 seconds of courage to be like, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And then
or like
from
write it
there,
on
it's
a piece
just
of paper and hand it to them, because I felt just a wave of relief after we started talking. Like, and I'm just like bawling the whole time. And she, like, say, I was dealing with it. I thought that it was, 3 kids, like you got a lot going on, juggling a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I thought it was normal until someone finally told me it's not normal. Like, go tell someone. So if you're feeling that way, it's not normal. Go tell someone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge. I'm really glad you did that when you did that too. And that's kind of what I told Dan kind of going into pregnancy. Cause like I'm an anxious person to begin with. So I was really nervous about postpartum stuff. And I told him, I'm like, listen, you need to keep an eye out for like signs and symptoms of this because I'm probably not going to recognize it. And you kind of need to be the one, like if I'm acting, oh, here comes Winnie. If I'm acting different or whatever, like you need to say something at one of our appointments. So he was great and he was able to come with me to like all of Porter's appointments but yeah, thankfully he never had to, she needs some love. Thankfully he never had to say anything, but he was ready if he needed to. So if you need to bring your spouse or your partner in with you for these appointments, that might be another option too, if you're uncomfortable, bringing it up. So,
well, and I don't know about your doctor, but they've got the list of questions that they ask every
mm-hmm.
time, especially like in the beginning. Do you feel stressed? Do you like, they're just,
like,
pretty
no shit, I'm
questions.
stressed.
Yeah. And literally, I mean, I would laugh it off at the other appointments because do you feel stressed? Well, yeah, I've got 3 kids and, I'm a farmer. Yeah, I feel pretty stressed.
I'm getting
And then
like 4 hours of sleep on a good night. Like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm stressed.
Yeah. So and it's easy to joke about stuff like that too, rather than like, take it seriously just because it makes you feel better. But yeah, that's really good that he could do that. I think I've always dealt with anxiety, but not to the point where I couldn't deal with it, and then I was just pushed over the edge this fall, I guess. So hopefully it's not like a forever thing that I'm on these pills, but at the same time, if it is, so be it. I feel way better. So
yeah, and that's awesome that you got the right dosage and like the right medication right off the bat too, because I know that's sometimes a tricky thing to like to fine tune it so it works for you.
Yeah, and she had told me I should give it like 4 to 6 weeks, and if it wasn't working, then to tell her. So I'm like, that would be like, that's a long time to deal with it if it wasn't working, and then to like have to do that all over again. So I'm really glad it worked. There's been times where like before I actually stopped nursing that I thought I needed to increase my dose. But honestly, now that I stopped nursing, I think that took a lot of my anxiety away. So we're doing good now. And she said a lot, like some people can go off of it, like during the summer months and then go back on, like if seasonal depression is a big thing. So she wanted me to stay on it at least 6 months. And I don't think I'm gonna stop anytime soon just because I don't want to go back to how I was feeling. So
yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, this winter was tough. Like,
well, it's hard being cooped inside with a baby because if you want to go outside, you have to, there's so much to do to like get him ready to go outside.
Yeah. Porter is like the definition of a pandemic baby. Like we haven't gone anywhere other than to his doctor's appointments. He's been to church twice, one to get baptized and like one on Christmas or whatever. And otherwise he just goes to my parents' house or to my grandparents' house, and that's it. Like we haven't, I guess we went out to eat one time. We ate in a bubble for my birthday, but like we haven't gone anywhere. So this whole time I've been home with him and it's great. Like, don't get me wrong. I love spending every minute with him, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, kind of like losing your identity a little bit. And it's all just, this is so annoying, Cat. It's just so much, like it's hard, like I went through
you
all
have
this stuff
really
during,
no adult interaction and
yeah,
you don't have at home.
You don't have any adult interaction. Like everything changed so fast. Like your body changed, your hormones are going crazy. Like my job changed. Like I don't work that much. So like I don't get outside very often. Like all these things are changing. And so you have to adjust to that so fast. And you're just sitting inside alone with your thoughts and your baby. And you're like, well, this is life now. Like where did my identity go? How can I find it? And you're fighting like all of these imposter syndrome type things, all while trying to be present and like in the moment and enjoying everything. It's like, well, what about me? you know? So that's been kind of like my biggest struggle is just what do I do now? But again, being in the winter was really hard, not going anywhere. So like this weekend, one of Dan's friends has a 4-year-old and he just had a birthday party. So we got to go to that. And that was the first time I think Porter has interacted with or has seen more than like 4 people at a time. And he did great. Like he loved it. He was just kind of like chill and just whatever. But it was like, oh, this is how you talk to adults. Like I'm trying to like relearn how to have normal conversations. And that's why I felt like when we got together with the other girls too, is like, I feel like I don't know how to talk to you guys. Like I don't remember how to carry on a conversation. I don't have anything to talk about other than my baby. Like, how am I supposed to participate?
You didn't even remember how to shotgun a beer.
I know.
Okay, I didn't either.
That was the first thing my dad saw that video. And when the first thing he said when I got back was how pathetic that was. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. But
what do you expect? Come on.
yeah,
We're out of practice.
But yeah, so like as much as I try to be like upbeat and positive about everything, it's hard. Like it's yeah. And it's always just, I don't know. It's tough because like I want to be outside doing stuff. And at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to, I have the opportunity to be home with my baby while still, being like employed. So if I can be home from work without the risk of being fired, like, yeah, I'm gonna spend time with my baby. And like my parents have been gone. Like my mom, I don't know, I've said this before, I think, but like my mom is like the other caregiver. Porter, we don't do daycare for him, mostly again because pandemic and all the daycares are super hard to get into. But my mom's right in my backyard, so when I do need to work, I just go over, drop him off. I know he's safe there. But they've been going on vacations a lot this winter, which good for them. But at the same time, they're gone like at a drop of a hat. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to be gone, for 10 days. So then that's like 10 days that I'm kind of stuck at home, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't feel comfortable really taking him out to like the store or like even driving in the winter. Like I hate driving in winter to begin with. So I don't want to load him in my car, drive into town for something that I need or just to get out of the house. So I'm just like, I feel like I'm just stuck. And I live in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing to do. Like I can't do anything out here. I feel like I'm just complaining a lot, but like it's tough.
It's hard in the winter, especially. I mean, hopefully now that it's getting warmer, you can, go for walks or go for a drive, like I don't know if you've got, probably have to go all the way to the cross, but it's like children museum or, like little play things and stuff. But at the same time too, the older he gets, easier it'll be to kind of go to the marsh and take him and like, have him ride around with you or go check out what's going on and stuff.
We have a wagon. So I tried like the backpack carrier thing and I had him on my chest because we can't figure out how to get him on the back. So I had him on my had him on my chest. And it was so heavy. He's 25 pounds. I'm like, we tried going for like a half-mile walk and I'm huffing. Like it's
you need one of those like hiking ones where they like sit in it, they have like their own little chair behind you.
Yeah. But I also have a wagon and now that he can sit up like on his own, I can just buckle him in that and that's so much easier. But yeah, that was when we had like the 60-degree weather. We went on a walk like every day and for like an hour and he would just sleep the whole time. But it was so nice just to get out. And I think I made a couple posts about like blowing the stink off and like literally and like figuratively. Like you just feel so much better going outside. I love Wisconsin, but just the winters are hard. And I don't
Mhm.
know. Everyone's like, oh, we'll just take like a vitamin D supplement. It's like that doesn't do shit. Like I need to go outside. I need sunshine. It's
Need the
tough.
actual sunshine. Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, things have been getting a lot better. Oh, Winnie's got something to say. And we
Thank
went
you for
for
putting your butthole in the camera. Yes.
she just farted into the microphone. We went for a drive the other night and I had him on my lap and we just drove around the marsh and it was nice just to now that he's big enough to support himself in that way. It's good just to
Get out.
get out. Yeah. And start showing him some of the stuff. He doesn't know what's going on, obviously, but it's nice.
He probably likes it too, just like doing something different.
Mm-hmm. Change of scenery.
Yeah.
Something. Get away from the dog for a second.
He probably thinks he's a dog.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Mowgli from the Jungle Book, raised by a dog
And a cat.
and a cat. Yeah, can't forget the cat. But yeah, that's kind of how things are going. But the thing that I found helped me. So again, like body issue problems. We have one of Dan's friends is getting married this summer in Madison, and it's like a formal wedding. So I'm trying to find like a formal dress for this wedding, and it sucks. Let me tell you, it sucks. Nothing fits. I think I'm on my 6th dress, and I've tried dresses from all over. I've tried different shapes,
Did you go
different
to like a
lengths.
bridal shop that has like bridesmaids dresses?
I
mean,
just need to go to a store and try them on, but again, like that
then you have
would
to go to a
require
store.
me leaving. Yeah. So that's my next step. But like I just feel so uncomfortable in my clothes. Like when after Porter was born, I was 20 pounds lighter than my pre-pregnancy weight. And I think that was like breastfeeding and working and not sleeping, not eating.
And losing like all your blood, but that's
yeah. Yeah, that's the beside the point. So I was skinny. That was like the skinniest I've been in a really long time. And then like once I stopped breastfeeding, it was like hitting like a truck and all came back immediately. Like it was just like wham. I woke up and it's like, oh, here you go. And now your weight's gonna be all in different places. Your boobs are gonna be down to your knees. Like so that's not fun. And it's been really hard for me to lose that weight again. So I've been working out more, which is good. Dan's been really great about coming home and I'll just be dressed and ready to go. I won't even tell him. I'm like, take this child. I need to move my body.
Well, plus spending all day with him, it's kind of like a nice stress reliever to just get your head in a better place. Then you can be present with Dan the rest of the night.
Yeah. So I'm able to take like an hour for myself and go work out, which has been so great mentally and physically for me. And then I'm also trying to get into cooking a little bit more too. So I need hobbies because again, I don't do anything. So I've been trying to get into cooking that way I can eat better and not have to rely on Dan to come straight home and make me dinner. So that's been good too. I found a couple websites that have had like healthier recipes and that are still easy to make and still taste good. So that's been helpful too. So that's all been kind of like getting my head back on track. So that's where I'm at. It's not fun, but you got to find ways you need to find outlets for your sanity and take time for yourself a couple times a week.
I think
or every day, whatever.
Thing. Yeah. You have to have some alone time. Like you can't give, what is that? You can't give from your cup if it's only half. You can't. Something about pouring a cup, and if you don't fill your own cup, you're not going to have anything to give anyone else.
Yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah, that could be it. Follow me for more inspirational quotes.
Yeah, we should make a Pinterest board with just failed quotes.
No, I think that's important. And I mean, our biggest difference is that I send my kids to daycare. So like I'm not with them most of the day. So I think that also had me feeling so guilty. Like when I would pick them up, you'd think I would be ready to like play with them and stuff. And I had no desire to. I was too tired. So I've noticed that's a big change too. Like I can interact with the kids and like I get excited to pick them up and stuff, which is terrible to say, but yeah, I think it gets easier too, obviously, as the baby gets older. Cause like now that Jackson is crawling and like sitting up and snacking on stuff, he's a lot easier to keep happy. Like you don't have to entertain him quite as much. He's literally happy sitting in the living room watching the other two play, like, or crawling and trying to destroy things that they're doing. But it's just every day gets a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm. Till the next one.
Not for me. I told Joey this puppy is the fourth child he wanted because he ain't getting anything else from me.
That's a conversation for a different day. But it gets better. Someone told me they're like, if you have another child, don't have them in November or December because it will be the worst. It'll be hard going through.
You're not wrong. I mean, Sophia was February and Joe was March. So it was like a little bit, like a month or two that we had to spend inside, but that was fine because they're so little, you don't want to take them anywhere anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it got warm, you felt more comfortable leaving. So maybe try for a spring baby.
I'll take what I get. I don't think
that's the funniest part. Like when people like plan for babies, I'm like, that must be nice. Like took us long enough just to get pregnant. So I'll take what I can get, but
yeah. Kids, I tell you.
Gotta love them. All right. I feel like we're done. Do you have anything else to say?
No,
we're just starting to do a thing where like we don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's
I feel
it.
Like we've been talking for a while anyways.
It's fine. I think the biggest takeaway, just have someone to talk to that's not a dog, your child, or your spouse. I mean, it's great to talk to your spouse, but having someone outside helps.
I think some of that
make you feel human
understands too. I mean, no offense to the husbands, but it's hard for them to understand everything we're going through. So I think if you can find like another mom to talk to, it's a little bit, you can relate to them a little bit better, I think. So yeah, my inbox is always open if anyone needs to talk.
Yep, me too.
I'm sure Amber's is as well. Yeah. So reach out to us if you need to. Know that you're not alone. Know that it's not easy. If you have it easy, God bless you. But I don't think most people do. So
yeah. I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Next week, we'll be back with another fun guest. I'm excited about this one. And if you have anything else that you want us to cover, either about our mom journey or farm journeys, anything in between, again, our inboxes are always open. So feel free to shoot us a message, say hi. And if you haven't left us a rating and review on Apple Podcast or on our Facebook page, please feel free to do that because it always makes us smile and it makes our day and honestly our weeks, our years so much better. So if you're not following us, make sure to check us out at Forward Farming Podcast. I'm over at Cranberry Chats and Becca's over at Farming with the Hillbees. Thanks for these are always so awkward. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.